Okay, hello guys. This is gonna be my first YouTube video. From now on, I'd like to be posting every single little trade I take and explain it as detailed as possible. This is something to help me out as much as giving out knowledge for free to traders and overall how I select my risk and how you can start trading as well. So there's simple tips and tricks I've gained over the years. I have 7 years of experience now trading in the markets. Forex has been 2.5 years, I believe now. So I found more success in Forex than I have in stocks due to the volatility and understanding the market maker method. So market maker method has been very confused throughout all of Forex. I just believe people don't properly know how to use it. A lot of people that sell courses actually use it as a way to give you delusions of grandeur, where it feels like you're superior than other traders, but it's not exactly like that. Any trader that's been in the markets for longer than a year understands the market maker method, and it is true, but you have to understand the basic concepts, the rules that actually do apply themselves to this market. Not everything's ABC equals D. A lot of the crazy indicators that you see are not what you should be using. Indicators lag, meaning that your trades are going to lag, meaning you're going to see serious drawdown, maybe even a really bad loss. So understand, and indicators are a tool that are given from the markets, not something that you should be taking as it's not even a resource that I consider anymore. um, I believe a lot of my losses came from misuse of the indicators and misuse of psychology and just misinterpreting the markets and numbers as they are. So today is June 3rd 2018. I'm going to be discussing this more in detail after this slide. Okay, now, so this is the next slide. I'm going to be talking about my watch list and how I'm going to map out these trades. I'll also give you a brief rundown of the news that happened on Friday, which was major news. So my watch list currently is the USD cross pairs, Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, and also the Euro CHF. So Euro CHF is a cross pair with the USD CHF and Euro USD. So I'll put a little note right here. Watch Euro.USD and USD.CHF. It's a combination of both these pairs. So now, if this doesn't make sense to you guys, basically, this is just so the dollar has a strong influence on the markets. So usually cross pairs run off dollars. So let's say Euro CHF. It's usually, if you were to look at USD CHF, it's to be rising. That means Euro CHF will probably be rising as well. If Euro USD is dropping, you can probably expect Euro CHF to be dropping as well. It's just really different. It just depends on what's happening on the markets. Whenever you see these markets kind of drift in a sense, where one is doing the other, or they're both doing the same thing. When they're both doing the same thing, that's when you see extreme drops or extreme rises. So this is definitely, I love cross pairs because I understand them. If you do understand these cross pairs, they are actually very beneficial towards your trading career. So majority of the traders currently right now are shorting the dollar. I've seen it. The dollar has grown exponentially, very huge rise, quite suddenly. Since Trump took over, Trump had the markets rising. Dollar was up, spectacular comebacks, huge trends. Came back down, and now all of a sudden it has recovered its losses. So many people believe in retracements. So I can see where many traders are trying to specifically go against the dollar and try to cash in maybe 50, 100 pips, 200 pips, whatever it may be. But I don't believe the markets are quite there yet. But I do feel like a lot of these traders are trying to catch the top and trying to short it, which is okay. But I will explain why I'm not short, because my bias is it's a neutral market. We're going to see massive amounts of consolidation. But the biggest mental note that I said on here too is June 1st, the U.S. reports were extremely positive. This is not something I would look to. It doesn't sound good to go against the dollar if the the dollar had really good reports. It just doesn't make sense as a fundamental trader. So now I'll jump into the charts. So if you guys can read this over, watch it, and I'll do my thing with the charts. So let's put this down. This is my new account. It's a $10,000 account. It's a performance account. So I'm going to be shorting the Euro CHF, and now I'm going to explain this more in detail. So I'm only going to do would be on Trader's Way a 0.10. And then I'm just gonna submit it for now, and then I'll fix out my take profits and everything as I go today. So I'm looking at a second monitor. Sorry, just to give a little. Okay, so I'm gonna move this into the hourly 4. Now these are things that I am watching in the markets, and I'm gonna explain why. So right now we currently have a little price action coming down a horizontal line that I like quite a lot on the shorter time frame. As you see it, 1, 2, and 3. So now, what would be a good take profit as a trader? What would make you think it's not also a good trade at all? So you see the price action coming down. So I do believe this 1450 would be a good area to kind of stop, take my profits, reevaluate Euro CHF, because I do believe it can probably go a little bit more towards the short end due to the Euro USD, to me being a very bearish market. So currently this price action is just holding very heavy. If I can give you guys a better glimpse of this, but yeah, exactly. So it's a very good price action to believe it's going to go a little short. My thing is just being a 1, 2, 3 trade. So now when you map out a trade, you have to follow your risk management very clear. If this is a $10,000 account, I'm only doing a 0.10. So take profits being 1.145. Whoa. 5, and then I think my marker is 50, so I'll do another 5. So now my stop loss, when you follow risk management, you want to be as tight as possible at the same time, minimizing your risk and giving those little pushes. So right now the top is 1.15, I want to say about 7. So I will go 1.159. That's what I will believe the accounts will be. So I'm only going to lose $42 and gain a whole 92. So I'll write this on my side notes right here, and I'll explain this a little bit more in detail why hey man, hey dude. So I'll write this trade taken. We'll put this as a header. Euro.chf short entry. Our entries are 1.15, 463. Take profit 1.1455. Stop loss 1.159. This is going to be very important. I like to keep track of my trades. It is a performance habit. You have to know when you lose. You have to know when you win. And to me, I understand these. So if I ever do go back to my trades, I see what I have taken. So ladies and gentlemen, it's very important to keep track of these losses, because you want to make sure if you ever lose money, you are not failing, but you are learning. Guys, it's very important in trading because you have to learn how to adapt. I cannot explain it enough. It's a very simple trade that I'm taking. There's not a whole lot to explain. It's just one of these technical trades that I would want to take. Being Euro USD being bearish, this makes it kind of a safe trade for me to want to go in. I understand I'm not risking a whole lot. This is 1% of my account. I don't even think it's 1%. I think it's 0.5% of my account. So I'll even write that down too. Total risk of account is 0.5%, so 0.5%. It's not a whole lot compared to my account. I am giving myself more chances in the market if I'm not failing. If I keep winning off these, because this is a fresh account, understand this is a fresh account. You want to make sure you're only risking your wins. You're not risking your initial deposit. So 0.5% risk is very valuable right now. So now, the Euro USD, I have to get more in depth about this currency because this is definitely a long time coming. This was expected of Euro USD to finally kind of drop. We've seen these extreme highs, and we are finally coming down from them, which is absolutely perfect because this was like a mini Bitcoin. You know, if you are aware of the markets, Bitcoin rose stupendously and kind of held its price for a bit, got people to buy in. As you can see, people bought in here and then finally went into a short. Now, this short can also go a lot lower. We're seeing a lot of rejections through the price areas. These price action areas are being very significant in this currency as of right now in this bearish trend. I do believe they are going to create a lot of doubt. So I do believe this market is going to drop down to here into this price action again and maybe create some consolidation, either go back up or go back down. The markets like to adapt like that. So from what I've learned, there's just a simple trade for me to short it. So I'm going to zoom in into the 15-minute, and then hopefully you guys will be able to see this. So these are price action areas. This is very significant to me. The 1.172 is very significant to me. And there's another price action right below it, which, you know, when I take these, if I was to take this trade, if I was a beginner, you always have to give yourself 100 pips worth of drawdown. Do not panic. If you do panic, you are bound to lose this trade. Euro USD is the most volatile currency out there. Um, so I'm going to go into a short as of right now. So what we'll do, I like this currency a little more just due to the news that came out. 12.15, my take profit will be 1.5, 1.15, and let's go 5 and another 5. You know what, I'll do another 5 too. So my total earnings, as you see them, total loss, I want to be as tight as possible on the Euro USD because this can definitely go up and do a little fake out. I might be talking a whole lot, maybe something that you guys do not want to hear, but I will go 1.18 just in case. 1.18. Let me look at how much I'm going to lose. So now this is very well into the 1-to-1 risk ratio that I do like. So this is definitely a trade that I will take. Boom. I do think it's going to probably go back up to here, make a crazy wick. That's the reason why I'm giving myself more play. When you trade gold, when you trade euro, when you trade GBP, USD, you want to give yourself space, guys. It's very critical. It's so, I've been through many trades where stop hunts come out. If you've seen a stop hunt, it's a crazy candle that goes up and then comes back down within the minute. They stop you out. Do not get caught in those. I like to give myself space, usually no more than 100 pips. If the market swing against me 100 pips, I feel like I did something wrong. My timing was off or my analysis was wrong, and I like to get out of the trade and kind of reevaluate my standings. So Euro USD will ride with this trade. So now my other pairs that I did see beforehand, GBP USD does look like a possible short to me, as well as the odd USD. Odd USD is approaching a critical point, and I will explain it, as well as GBP USD. So now let's dive into GBP USD. Whoa. Now I'm gonna short this, but not on this account. This is definitely a short in my eyes, but I'm just gonna go in depth about it. So if we were to go into the hourly form, I'll be able to explain this trade a little more. As you see, I already have this kind of mapped out. These were trades I took earlier in the year. If you have been following me on Instagram, you have known that I cashed the fuck out on this currency. This put me ahead of the curve in my brokerage. So this was a little triangle which created a pendant, which created a buy formation. Now we have a double top, and we're coming down from a double top. So now there's keynotes in these price action areas. There was a positive, I think there was negative news for the USD, and it did not, the GBP USD did not go back up to these price action areas. So this is a very important thing in the markets. It consolidated, it adapted to the buys, and it went against the traders. Understand this, and we'll be good. So now non-farm payroll came out, good. I do believe this currency is going to go a little bit more down. So there's a little bit more downside to be played, but due to the GBP USD dropping and just bullshitting traders here, I do expect a sudden rise up to this price action and then finally just dropping. But if just to put it very simple, if this currency was to drop, come down to this price action area, we can see a considerable rise net up to here, and the markets will be questionable. That's why I say this market is neutral right now. It can definitely move any other way. If you guys were to see me before, this was definitely a very, very bearish market the minute it reached here. Consolidation and formations, breakage of this price action, and continuation. Just the fact that the minute they adapted right in this area right here, I knew this trend was going to continue bearish. I just did not know for how much longer. When the markets do this, they usually don't like running off price action. They make some sort of buy formation, or it's just a retracement strategy that other people follow. So this is why people believe in retracements. It's because of this. So I am not a sheep, though. This is not something I would trade, guys. It is too volatile for me to predict. There's not enough of a tight spread. Even though I feel like it's bearish and I can make money off of this, I am gonna let this trade go as of now. So you'll definitely see a YouTube video about this currency if I do short it or I do buy it. So be expecting that. Odd USD. Now I like the daily on this. It's currently a buy. I definitely believe it's not a buy, and I'll explain some technical terms. A lot of traders got stuck here. Just picture yourself being in this trade. The markets are coming down. This price action comes, and people try to force it. The fact that this made such a severe break into the markets kind of tells me how many traders were stuck up here. That's why we bottomed out to a new bottom. Now we're kind of rising, right? Cool. But how much of a rise are we going to see? Is the market's going to give the traders an exit? To me personally, I don't mind when the markets kind of take shits on traders, because that's how I make money. Just put it nice and simple. The only way I make money is if other traders are losing. So you see this doji right here, this price action right here. We're seeing very close to that end of this trend. So who knows? This trend could come up here and continue upwards, or come up to this price action. Who knows where this currency is going? But it's definitely something I want to short here into a possible new low. This is definitely one of the more interesting speculations that I'm going to watch. This is not something I would force because it's speculative of myself. It's not something I understand stop losses, because if I was to maybe trade this, my stop loss would be right here. Let's make it right here. And my take profit would be this right here. So that's if I was to trade it, but I am not going to trade this because I am not 100% sure about this trade. It's one of those trades that's like I feel like I know what I'm doing, but I can't force this. So definitely this is what you guys seen 2 of my trades be activated, as you guys can see. So I hope you guys stay tuned to my YouTube and see the befores and afters of these currencies. And thank you for watching. If I'm going to be posting way more on this YouTube and explaining a little bit more of my trades. I'll be adding more information about simple tips and tricks on Forex and how to even get started, brokerages, things like that, and just build an overall more genuine outlook to the Forex community. The Forex community is very toxic to me because of the many of these entrepreneurs have came into these markets and teaching very minimal knowledge of the Forex markets, and you can even see it in the stock market where people are just very minimal. They're just poisoning people's brains, saying that you can earn thousands of dollars within a day and a couple of hours, which is possible, but you have to follow the risk management. If you're not following risk management, you're bound to lose your full amount of your deposits. And that is not something I inspire. I do not teach gamblers. I do not inspire gambling. This is my career. This is something I truly love. So if I can see change in these markets, let me provide it for you guys. So thank you for watching and thank you for listening. I know it's more listening than anything, but I will definitely be adding little information, tips, and tricks that you guys can learn from off of this. Thank you.